Dad, what's the future gonna look like?
Amazing presentation from Joe. As a former school teacher, I was just in awe. That's the coolest thing. JetZero is also a pretty cool thing. We're building the most efficient jetliner you've ever seen. It's going to be 250 passengers. And this plane is just a marvel. I want to tell you about what's happened over the past year. It all begins with building with the Air Force, with NASA, with Northrop Grumman, at Scale Composites in Mojave, building a demonstrator at full scale that will prove 30% aerodynamic efficiency, up to 50% lower fuel burn. But really, the main thing is this plane is going to be better in every way. And really, but though, how? This is a big, ambitious undertaking. I want to tell you about some of the partners like Alaska Airlines, who we announced last year, was our first airline investor. Order of this plane with Delta also has come into the fold, providing equipment, investment in building out cabins, and really letting us get into their operation. So on the ramp, in the hangar, they've done an amazing job, dedicated their most precious resource, which is their people's time, in a 24/7 low margin business. For them to spend time with us and help us work on this aircraft has been a real gift. And then United Airlines this year announced both an investment and an order with JetZero. So this demand for the aircraft that is going to be better in every way is a huge thing. But remember your economics, we just learned about school, right? Economics 101 is supply and demand, right? So these suppliers, we went to them at the beginning of this company in the beginning of the pandemic, and they were strapped. But the biggest suppliers in the world, like RTX, who we announced this year, our partnership with them, they're helping us with this demonstrator. They're helping us bring this mission to life, and we could hardly be more grateful for the outpouring of support that we've got from our suppliers. But the biggest piece of news that we have for you is the support that we got from the state of North Carolina, which is absolutely incredible. So North Carolina has helped us with the biggest manufacturing incentive package ever for a startup. This is really the best situation that we've ever seen. It's top 10 overall. It's $4.5 billion for a 14,000 workforce in a over 6 million square foot facility. That's what's going to take to bring this product to life. And so I couldn't be happier with what we've seen in terms of support from the community there, the colleges, the universities, even the high schools that have aviation programs. I can't wait to plug them in with Joe and see how we can get some synergy there. But this right here is the future for America. This is optimism, it's abundance. We can lead, we can dominate again when it comes to aerospace. We're going to do it with this plane. We're going to do it in this factory, and this is factory number one. I can remember at Tesla, 15 years ago, we were just building the first factory, and now 7 gigafactories globally. So we have the same kind of ambition right here. And then lastly, another partnership that we announced this year. I was so proud to join Siemens at CES this year and talk about what we've been working on for the better part of 2 years, really trying to figure out how do we accelerate everything that we do. And we thought there's no better partner because design, build, test, certify, manufacture at scale, service. We have to do all of those things, and we can't, flawlessly is pretty much the standard. We heard from the FAA earlier. I think they want us to perform flawlessly. And so to be able to do that, we needed help, we needed partnerships, we need software at every single step of the way. Siemens provides all of that, but the whole is really better and greater than the sum of the parts. And so to tell you a little about that is from our partner at Siemens is Mr. Del Costy.
I got to tell you, it's such a privilege to be here. It's also a privilege to partner with JetZero. I mean, that is an exciting story. You're going to have a chance to go next door, have a drink, and experience what the JetZero aircraft's all about. So I don't know if you noticed, but how many are technology fans here? I hope so, because otherwise I'm going to bore the crap out of you. But if you noticed in that video, Martha Stewart's also a big technology fan. She actually came and got to walk through the JetZero story with us at CES. And it really, really is an amazing story. This is extremely disruptive technology, and it's going to be transformative for air travel. It's going to drive sustainability, it's much more efficient, and it's going to be a great experience for us. I think about what JetZero has to do. They have 5 major steps of their process. They have to design, they have to test, they have to build, they have to certify, and ultimately they have to support. We at Siemens are focused on bringing together the real and the digital. Now, how this comes together is those 5 steps we would call, in a digital vernacular, the digital thread. And this is extremely important for a variety of reasons I'm going to talk about. When we do the work, when JetZero does the work and connects those 5 steps, it gives them something very powerful and very unique. And you can see the images behind me. That is an actual CFD analysis, computational fluid dynamics. So I can look at the airflow over the aircraft. Now that's on the exterior of the aircraft. That's going to help define how it's going to fly. I can also look at what happens inside the aircraft, the experience for the passengers. We refer to that as simulation. The reason we can do that is we create something called a comprehensive digital twin. Now, why is this important? Imagine waking up every day with a crystal ball, and I can just ask that crystal ball anything, and it's going to give me all the scenarios of how my day is going to transpire, and it's going to give me really good fidelity in what's going to happen to me that day. That's in essence what we're doing here with this digital twin and this digital thread capability with JetZero. It gives them the power to truly understand all the iterations. In engineering vernacular, we talk about a model-based enterprise. We define the structure of our product, whatever it is, and we understand everything that's happening in that structure. And we can go through an iteration, a design iteration, to really understand how that is going to behave in all different scenarios. But it's not enough just to design a great product. I have to design a product that can also manufacture. You can notice behind me, this actually is a Siemens factory. Siemens was faced with a massive threat about 20 years ago, to the point where our flagship business was experiencing significant trouble from competitors from Asia producing much lower cost product. We had to make this factory more efficient, so we decided to model our own digital twin of the factory. We improved the production of that factory by 13x. 13x on the same square footage with the same user community. That was the power of that technology. Fast forward, and we can actually take a look at JetZero's production. Tom just talked about the facility in North Carolina. What's powerful about this is not like when you walk in and your kids are playing GTA. Great graphics, no realism to the graphics. This is highly accurate. Everything in here is accurate. I can model the ergonomics of the worker. I can see is there stress or strain in the task they're performing. I understand the throughput, the material flow through the facility. And when I see a machine operating, the logic that's driving the machine is the same logic from the shop floor in this digital twin model. And you can see how photorealistic it is. So when Tom goes to launch this facility and JetZero goes to launch this facility, they're not going to have to guess. They're going to have seen exactly how production will take place. So when they need to know with confidence they can get to scale, they're going to be able to understand that. What I would tell you is it goes further, and we heard from the FAA earlier. The FAA needs to have confidence when a JetZero goes to them for type certification or prod certification. When JetZero is going to go to the FAA, they're going to be able to show how the requirements flowed through the design of the product, how that design translated into production, look at all the iterations, and when they go to look at any part, considering all the design from the supply chain, they're going to have all the records right there at their fingertips. all fully traceable. They will have no problem demonstrating all the critical data to the FAA. From the perspective of configuration and effectivity, unique tail number, and when things are produced by unique tail number, all the records from the shop floor, the quality data, would also all be associated inside this environment. That is confidence that JetZero is going to continue to deliver on time and under budget. There's one last thing I'll talk about. There's no conversation about technology that can't land on AI. AI obviously is going to be a game changer. We're all probably using AI in our daily lives. AI in engineering and production are very, very different. There are not large language models. Most companies haven't turned over their petabytes of data to a third party to build a large language model to be able to interrogate an engineering problem or a production problem. By having this digital thread of connectivity, by having this comprehensive digital twin, JetZero is going to be able to apply AI, study what's happening with their fleet, understand where used, apply AI to it, but also validate that against simulation. So when AI gives an opportunity to say, try this or do this, they're going to be able to test that theory against the simulation model with confidence. And with that, I do think that gives JetZero and companies that lean in on this technology a unique and very competitive advantage. So we are super excited about our partnership with JetZero. It's been a pleasure, and I truly love being at this event. Thank you.
The future is gonna be awesome.